Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with the Saw right here on Superlative Radio. Today, we're going to be talking about the fifth episode of Loki called Journey into Mystery, which...
That's a good title for it.
Well, oddly enough, Journey into Mystery is where Thor made his first appearance.
Not in this one.
So, in the original comics, that's where Thor made his very first appearance, was in Journey into Mystery.
Cool. Okay. What
So,
year was that?
63, 64.
Oh, wow.
Long
Okay.
time ago. Yeah. I believe it was Journey into Mystery number 12, I think. Something like that. But yeah, it's been a
Cool.
long time. But anyway, so it was really cool to see that they named this episode after that.
Yeah.
So overall, though, fantastic episode.
Oh, great episode.
This show just keeps getting better and better and better. So again, if you haven't watched it, then just pause this, go watch it, and come back.
Yeah.
Because we are going to be talking about it. So
Going to
there
be
will
some spoilers. Yeah.
That said, that's your warning. What'd you think?
Your only warning.
That's right. What'd you think overall?
Loved it. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
as I
I
said
really
to,
did
as
too.
I said to you off air, I'm
I
just
think it was my
dying to
favorite
see.
one so far.
Well, no, I don't really have a favorite, to be honest, because I'm enjoying them all. But I'm enjoying it thoroughly. But I'm very curious to see where they're going to take it.
Yeah. Well, there's only one episode left.
That's right.
So-
I know. So I don't know how they're going to seal it
wonder.
off or what they're going to do, but it's it's going to be something. So it left me sort of chomping at the bit, kind of thing. You know, waiting to see where they were going to go. But yeah, I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I was glad to see that, you know, him and Sylvie got back together on the
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
and Mobius shows up again. Thank
yeah.
God. We both said that last
Well,
week.
with the car, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was at a pizza car at that,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, it was really
was
cool,
really-
and
it was good.
I'm glad Mobius showed up again because he's a good.
Yeah, he's a good character.
Yeah, he's a good character, and they work off of him well, and
Yeah.
I love the part where he gave
Gave him a hug.
him a hug and he said to her, "You're my favorite." I thought that was so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny,
it was
yeah.
because he said it, but he thought he was saying it to
Yeah, I
him.
know,
It
yeah.
was just so perfect.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I
That was
chuckled.
so awesome.
Yeah.
I laughed too. I was
Yeah,
like, oh my
I
God,
thought it
that's
was
awesome.
so awesome.
But yeah, it was, and of course, like my favorite part was the Loki alligator biting the other Loki's
Yeah,
hand
that
off.
was- yeah.
Ah!
Nothing left but a stump. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
that
cool.
was so funny. And all the Loki. The best part is all the Lokis turning on each other because they're
Yeah.
all betraying each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, that's
except for the three that were helping him.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
good. Well done. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I thought it was really cool.
So yeah, I enjoyed
and
it.
of course, to see him at the end, like creating an entire
Yeah, with that whole
an entire
Your
planet
city,
of
like,
Asgard
yeah,
right there.
like-
Like I was like, oh, that's freaking cool. You know, getting to distract that thing.
That's
for them.
right. Yeah.
That was really cool. So it kind of shows that even across even the multiverse, not every Loki is necessarily a bad Loki.
No.
They might start out as mischievous or bad or whatever, but they
They have possibilities.
have the possibility
Yeah,
to
exactly.
go good like the first one
Yeah.
did. And I think that's probably what they're going to do with this one. Is
Make
they're-
him a good one.
Well, I think what's going to happen is he's going to become the Loki of the MCU again. Or something's going to happen to him and they're going to make Sylvie the Loki of the MCU again. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm really curious to see who's behind it.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea. That's where
what
we're
I really
at
want
right
to see
now.
is who is behind the whole thing.
You have no guesses or ideas or.
Well, I told you last week I thought it was Kang.
Yeah, but that doesn't look. No, I guess
That's who I thought it was. I thought it was Kang that was behind it, and the reason he
You still think that?
the reason he prunes other realities and sends people to the end of time once they're pruned is so they can't interfere in his takeover of the sacred timeline.
You still think it's him?
Well, in the year 3000, he's the ruler. So
Well, I guess then
I
that
mean,
would be
according
the,
to Marvel Comics, so I guess it would be that if they're going to do something along the lines of that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then
they're going to
only
have
make
to lay the
sense.
groundwork for it. Then yeah,
So,
okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
know. The other possibility is it could be. Well, it could be another Loki. It could be another Loki that did it all and is behind it all.
Okay.
That could be why he's capturing all the other Lokis and pruning them out. That's why they could have spent so much time chasing down other versions of Loki. Because
Okay.
one Loki wants to be better than all
That's
the
right,
others.
exactly. Wants to sort of have the upper hand on it, as it were. Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. Anything's possible.
I guess we'll find out next week. Damn.
Yeah, only a few days away.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. The whole
Yeah,
alligator
yeah.
thing, and
Alligator with little horns.
that's us as an alligator.
Yeah.
Really?
Don't say that. He's sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah,
funny.
that's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that
It was
was
good.
so funny. It was really good. Yeah, I'm really itching to see what's going to happen and how they're going to take it, and whether it's going to, I guess whether it's going to keep Tom Hiddleston's Loki around, or if it's going to keep the Sylvie Loki around, or if there's just going to be no more Loki in the MCU because he did die at Thanos, and every other Loki is a branched one. I mean,
Hard
I
to
don't know
say,
what
eh?
they're going to do, but it'll be really interesting to see, for sure. And of course, it's all got wider implications with connection to Doctor Strange, right? Because I
Right.
mean, that's where everything's going to culminate, is in Doctor Strange, because WandaVision touched on it, Loki's touching on it, What If is going to touch on it.
When is that? That's soon.
That
isn't
starts
it?
August the 10th, I believe.
Okay,
or
so it's not a lot far.
yeah,
Okay.
August the 10th, I think it starts.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man is going to touch on it, and then of course Doctor Strange, right? So I
Right.
mean, you're talking like there's 5 projects involved in this whole multiverse thing that they're
Wow.
doing.
So it's okay.
And maybe even the Eternals will touch on it a little bit, because the Eternals comes out later this year. It's possible it will.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
there's a lot of stuff that is possible that will touch into it and filter into it, because I think the very beginning of Phase 4, which is what we're in, is all this whole multiverse aspect of stuff. Is that's what they're doing, is they're trying to build all the multiverse stuff, and at some point that will probably culminate in some sort of an Avengers crossover with everybody at some point. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
I mean, anything's possible.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure that they're going to do something along the lines of it with Secret Invasion too, because when that comes out, like, that'll be Skrulls that have invaded the Earth and taken over as different people, and there'll be good Skrulls, bad Skrulls.
Kind of like what's going on today.
Yeah, like it's just like I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do it, I guess. So
The way we
knows?
have it today with the lizard people.
That's
That are-
right.
That's
That's
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Lizard people taking over.
That's right. Exactly. Okay. Just
them and the
making.
Illuminati and
That's right.
the
exactly.
Masons.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what it's going to culminate in.
Okay. Cool. Going to be fun.
So I mean, I think if they're going to tie it in, it's definitely going to happen in this episode coming up.
All right.
And who knows, if they are in the quantum realm in some fashion, that might tie into how they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four, because I know that's the last movie of Phase 4 is the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
So
That'll
it'll
be
be
fun,
interesting
too.
to see how that comes about too. So
Damn,
you
this is
never
going to be
know.
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. It's also keep in mind, guys, we also have another episode of this up this week where we're talking about Black Widow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So be ready for that too.
watch for that one. That'll be up as well. You can watch that. And we're going to talk about Black Widow. So if you haven't seen Black Widow, get your ass to a theater or Disney Plus and
Yeah,
get
watch
yourself
it,
a
and
premium
then you
so you
can-
can buy it and watch it, because we're going to talk about that too. So that'll be on the other
Yeah.
episode.
So there'll be a ton of
That'll
spoilers.
be
in that too.
episode 6
Yeah.
of Let's Talk this week. So.
Yeah. So be ready for that too.
But I mean, like the fact that they had to hide underground from that giant cloud creature,
The sand cloud or whatever
and of
it was.
course they had to hide from all the other Lokis, and like it was
really
it
funny
was
the way
really
it all went.
interesting
It
to
was-
show, and I like how Loki finally realized that because every Loki had different abilities. It seemed that what they had was they all have the same abilities. It's just they only use certain ones. Each one only used certain ones. Like the old Loki, right?
Yeah.
The one that created
Yeah.
the image of Asgard. Well, he was really good at illusions, to the fact that he could create them so real people believed them. Because he said that about Thanos.
That's right, he did,
Is
yeah.
he created a version of himself so real Thanos believed he killed him.
That's right. Exactly.
And then
Well, Sylvie has the ability to
enchant people.
That's right, exactly.
And so so every Loki seems to have different parts of his powers, I guess, and then they're kind of realizing at the end that they can all access them. So I mean, I don't know. It's going to be really cool to see how
Wow.
they do it. That will make Loki extremely powerful.
if they can throw them all
If
together.
they do that, because I mean that's pretty powerful.
Well, I look forward to seeing how they do it. Believe me,
Yeah,
I'm
I do
just,
too.
I'm chomping at the bit, as I say, just waiting to see what's going to happen. So
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they end it off and how they deal with it.
I hope it's not a disappointment. I don't think it will be, but I hope it's not. So we'll see.
No, I don't think it will be either. I haven't been disappointed with anything Marvel yet. I know there are people out there that are saying they've been disappointed by stuff, and I think a lot of the hate that some of them get is unjustified. They're comic book shows and comic book movies. They're meant to be fun. They're meant to be entertaining.
Well, people can be a little.
People are going on about how Black Widow is this big movement on making women better than men, and that's not what Black Widow was about. If you got that from Black Widow, you've never read a comic book in your life. Seriously. I mean, Black Widow was about her saving all these other women who had been imprisoned basically mentally by the guy running the Red Room. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't about proving that, oh, well, women are better than men. It had nothing to do with that. So,
well, I mean, if you want to read into it, I mean,
it's the same with Loki. There's people are saying, well, because there's a female Loki, and they're making her better than the other Loki. They're not making her better than the other Loki. They're making her different. And
you can read whatever you want. You can justify whatever the hell you know.
They tried to say the same thing with Captain Marvel too, right?
I know. It's like get over it.
People said, "Oh, she was a terrible choice for Captain Marvel." Really, I think Brie Larson did a great job. I mean, you may not like Brie Larson as a person or her politics or whatever. There was nothing wrong with how she acted in that movie. Nothing, and nothing wrong with how she acted in the Avengers movie she was in.
She was great. So
she was fine.
Leave her alone.
I don't understand the hate they get.
Well, people are just.
I think people, what they do is there's a couple of.
They like to stir the pot.
There's a couple of channels online that I've talked about. I mentioned before, like Overlord DVD and Midnight's Edge. It's like all they want to do is bash on whatever's popular because they think that they're the only ones who have any idea about what pop culture is and what it should be, and it's like both channels are knobs, just filled with knobs, because all they do is bitch. They don't ever have anything nice to say. They don't ever it's not like they're ever like, oh my God, this was awesome. Nope. It's all about how can it suck and whatever. Like they've bashed Loki, they've bashed WandaVision, they bashed Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, you know what?
Black Widow. It's
to put it in the words of an old TV show. Shut up, you.
Yeah, exactly. They don't get it. They bash on Star Trek. Terrible. I know I'm not the biggest fan of the new Star Trek stuff, but God, there is worse out there. There is worse.
There's always worse, but
I'm not a fan of the last 3 Star Wars movies, the last trilogy. But they bash on that too, and now those are justified at least, but. But they literally, they bash on everything. They bash on all the DC stuff. They bash on, it just doesn't seem to matter what it is. They bash it. And it's when I sit down and I watch something like Loki, I think, wow, this is really good. They put a lot of, Tom Hiddleston is an executive producer on it.
Yep.
Scarlett Johansson was an executive producer on Black Widow.
That's right, she was, yeah.
These people have been playing these characters for a long time. They're putting a lot of thought into what they're doing with them. And because they're executive producers, they actually have say in what happens.
That's right.
It's not it's just they're just there to hand over money. They do more than that. They get to have a say.
Yeah.
And
it's their own heads on the chopping block as much as everybody else
right.
now that
so if they're gonna do that and they're gonna fork out some cash, they want to have a say.
Right, exactly.
And especially if it's a character they've been playing. They know the character.
Yeah, because it's them playing it.
They've been at playing it, they know it. They know it
better than you do.
Better than you do, and you want to complain about it.
That's right. And my other question is, who needs all that negativity?
Yeah. I can understand if you don't like it because it's whatever. You're not a fan of it because you didn't like the direction the story went or whatever. Fine. Not everything's going to please everybody. No. I get that. But just to bash on it because you say Marvel's throwing an agenda at people or they're doing whatever, they're not. And if they are, oh well, let them throw their agenda out. Just turn your brain off and watch it and have a little bit
That's
of
right.
fun and see how it fits in with the other stuff they've been doing. You know, I mean, they've done something.
Take a pill, chill out, and just enjoy it.
There's now
like,
24 movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 24. No one has ever done anything like that before. The closest that anyone has come to it is Star Trek, with interconnecting their movies.
Yeah.
And
They're still not done doing that either. So.
And Star Wars. Because Star Wars has, let me think, Star Wars has 9, 10, 11 movies. They have 11 movies, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they have 11 movies and 4 TV shows for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek has
A lot.
Has the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, and then on top of that they have 8 series.
Wow.
And they have
yeah, Lower Decks is coming back for another
10,
season.
11, 12, 13, and they have 13 movies. Like, you know, I mean, they've got a lot of interconnectivity too.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, nothing has ever been attempted like this, like it is in cinema before. Like, I know a lot of people might say, well, James Bond has like 25 movies. Yes, but the James Bond movies aren't really interconnected so much as
they each stand out on their own.
They each kind of stand out on their own, but they still kind of connect. It's weird because
it's yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah. So I mean, that would be probably the closest thing. But I mean, you know, like if you want to talk in terms of total viewing hours, then Star Trek has everybody beat.
Yeah, big time.
Hands down, they got everybody beat. But I mean, like, because Marvel's they've only got 3 TV shows that they're counting and the 24 movies. Because they're not counting the Netflix shows. They're not counting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're not counting Agent Carter. I know there are other people out there that do. But I mean, now when they open up the multiverse, right? When they open up
that's going to open up real big...
Then they can say, okay, all the X-Men movies are.
That's right.
All the original Spider-Man movies are. All those old Fantastic Four movies are. All the old other hero movies are. All the other hero TV shows are.
That'll bring in everything.
Then with Marvel, it'll blow even Star Trek
exactly
out of the water with connectivity stuff. So, I mean...
That's good for them then, because they can bring it all...
It's an interesting way to do it, right? And... but I mean, you know, I was super pleased with Loki, and I'm so excited to see how they're going to end it off, and you know what they're going to do with them, because I've enjoyed it a lot, and I thought it was neat to see different versions of Loki that have done different things, that have lived different lives, especially the alligator one. That one was hilarious.
That'll always be hilarious.
And I like how in WandaVision and in Loki they've brought back the original comic book costumes on the characters in some fashion.
Yeah, well,
because that was just like a really neat throwback.
Well, they got to give a nod to where it came from.
Because they did it with Captain America too, right? Like if you look at the very first outfit he wears when he goes around doing all the troops thing in the first Captain America movie, that's his original comic book costume. Like it's cheesy as hell.
Yeah, but it worked.
You know, it worked for what it was, right? So when you look at that, and then that's 4 original costumes that they've done like that. That's really cool, I think. So,
that says it all.
You know, they did it with Iron Man with the first Iron Man suit.
They did that too,
So
that's right.
You know, I guess they did it with that one. But like, you know, it's interesting to see them come back with these really cheesy costumes and be like, oh, that's how they're tossing that in there.
Yeah, well, you know, it's paying tribute to what it came from, kind of thing. You know, and that's what it's about, man.
So anyway, I don't know, what do you guys think of it? Are you guys excited for the end? Are you guys not liking Loki? And if you're not liking Loki, why aren't you liking it?
Yeah, give us a good reason.
Give it a reason.
Just don't say,
well, I don't like it because whatever.
Yeah.
Or agenda. Well, forget agenda, because you can read agenda into anything you want. Like Dylan said, you can
justify whatever the hell you want. Yeah, exactly.
People can pull stuff out of their brains that other people don't see.
That's right, exactly. So, but give us a good reason.
If the story is not to your liking, why not? Is it something about the story they're doing? Is it the take on Loki? Do you think that they're redeeming him too quickly or not quick enough? I mean, because there are people out there that will say, "Oh, well, you know, it took him like X amount of years in the MCU to be redeemed." Like, or they'll say, "Oh, they're redeemed. He's been redeemed too quick or too slow or whatever." Well, everybody is affected by the experiences that they have in life.
Of course.
So you might say, okay, well, in the original Marvel movies, yeah, it took them to Infinity War and Ragnarok to finally be redeemed. But this Loki that started off pretty much in the same spot as that Loki, it might have taken him quicker because of what he's seeing and what's happening to him in regards to the TVA and the multiverse. There's so many different things, especially when you see how all these other Lokis are and how they are. You might be like, what the hell? Like, why am I like, I don't want to be like them.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know, right? And you have to think
you
about
allow
it. Like,
that.
What if you met a whole bunch of different you?
That's right. You'd be a different person.
Would that affect you and how, because every one of them would have lived a slightly different life.
That's right. And it would have made a big difference in the way you see and the way you
and you might change who you were originally going to be because of it.
For
You never
sure.
know. So, and that could be why they're doing that with Loki.
Because you are a product of your experiences.
That's right.
So yeah.
Anyway, let us know what you think. And don't forget to head on over to check out Black Widow.
Yep.
And we will, I guess, see you guys on the next episode. Right here, Superlative Radio.
Stay healthy.